Don't stop. Don't stop chasing the life you know you were meant to live. Because here's the truth. As a man thinks, so he becomes. If you keep telling yourself you're a failure, if you convince yourself you're just meant to sit in a cubicle, if you believe you're a loser, that will become your reality. But if you can shift your thinking, if you understand that nothing is holding you back except you, then the game changes. The game begins. Come on, get up tomorrow, and the next day, and the one after that. No matter how hard it gets, get up. How long can you hold on to a positive mindset? How long can you fight against the part of you that wants to quit? You're out here giving advice, sharing quotes, telling people what they should do. But let me ask you something. Are you doing it? Are you living what you're preaching? Because people don't listen to what you say. They watch what you do. It's about dedication. It's about hard work. You've got to be a one-man army. Even if the whole world turns against you, you keep moving. Because if you've got God, conviction, or purpose on your side, you're never really outnumbered. If you're the kind of person who complains all the time, always blaming, always venting, but never doing anything to change your situation, then honestly, you're choosing your own suffering. You can't complain about life and then sit on your hands. That's like throwing gasoline on a fire, then being surprised it's burning hotter. Complaining without action is useless. It's choosing to stay a victim. And I know, you're not a victim. You're not built for that. We've become way too soft on ourselves. We've wrapped ourselves in bubble wrap. We've left the training wheels on for way too long. At some point, you've got to rip that stuff off. You've got to be honest with yourself. You've got to be hard on yourself. Because every time you say you're going to do something, start a business, get in shape, fix your life, and you don't follow through, you're teaching yourself that your word means nothing. You're losing credibility with the most important person in your life, you. And it's not just about how others see you, though trust me, people notice. You become that person, the one who's always about to do something, about to start a business, about to lose weight, about to turn things around. But it never actually happens. So what happens? You create a pattern, a habit, a loop. Every time you start and quit, it gets easier to quit the next time and harder to believe in yourself the next time. Look, there's always going to be resistance, always going to be obstacles. Life throws problems at you on purpose. It's testing you. It's asking, do you really want this? Are you worthy of the reward that comes with pushing through? And the only way to answer that is with action. Get your head right. Stop overthinking. Just move. Because motion creates more motion. Even doing something small builds momentum. And the more hard things you choose to do, the stronger you become. Confidence doesn't come from talking about what you're going to do. It comes from doing hard things over and over until you've proven to yourself that you don't quit. That's where self-belief is built. The real issue isn't motivation, it's identity. Too many people get wrapped up in the hype. Motivational quotes, hype music, clips of champions. But they're not doing anything. They're not moving. You want to feel better about yourself? Go do something. Go suffer a little. Prove you've got what it takes. That's how you become the kind of person who says, I get things done. That's how you become someone who others respect, because you respect yourself. And look, we all have something inside of us. Some gift, some potential. Call it divine, call it instinct. But whatever it is, you were born with it. And if you never use it, if you never chase it, you're wasting it. And yeah, maybe now you've got kids. Maybe you're older. Maybe you've made mistakes. But let me ask you, what kind of example are you setting? Do your kids see a man who avoids the hard path, or one who chooses it on purpose? Because that's where the growth is. I used to chase the easy route. I lived wild, ran from responsibility, got into trouble, but I learned the easy path doesn't stay easy. Eventually, it becomes regret. The hard path, that's where life actually starts to mean something. That's where the version of you you're meant to become finally starts to take shape. Deep down, you already know who you were built to be. You felt it before. that quiet fire, that whisper of something more. That's your fighter jet. But over time, the world dulls your edge. School, family, culture, they defame you. And suddenly, you go from predator to crop duster. Safe, slow, average. But here's the truth. That fire didn't go anywhere. It's just buried. And it's your job to bring it back. You ever meet that one guy? The hanging in there guy? You ask how he's doing and he goes, oh, just hanging in there. Every time. That's his default. And listen, I get it. Life gets heavy. We all carry things. But you weren't built to just hang on. Life's not meant to be this white-knuckled survival mission. It's meant to be lived, felt, challenged, experienced, conquered. That phrase, hanging in there, it paints a picture. Someone barely holding on, dangling from a cliff, not moving up, not climbing, just surviving. And I'm here to tell you, you weren't made to survive. You were made to rise. Most people never even tap into their potential because they've been taught to suppress it, conditioned to be average, taught to play it safe, told, don't aim too high, you might disappoint yourself. Who told you that? A teacher who gave up on their dreams, a parent still haunted by their own regrets, society constantly pushing comfort over greatness. They're not trying to hurt you, they're just passing down their own fear. But you don't have to accept that. You're not a crop duster, you're a fighter jet. And that hunger, that drive, it's still in you. It didn't disappear. It just got buried under comfort, fear, and distraction. And you might be wondering, well, why don't people want to be around me? Why are people distancing themselves? Here's the hard truth. If you carry low energy, if you complain constantly, if you live in a victim mindset and drain people with negativity, that's why. People can feel your energy before you even speak. If your whole vibe is just hanging in there, it's hard to be around because people want to grow. They want to feel alive. They want to move forward. And if you're always showing up low, people will slowly back away. So if you feel isolated, don't blame the world. Look inward. Raise your energy, take back control, because nobody wants to be around someone who's given up on themselves. Everyone's got that hunger inside, that pull towards something bigger, but most people don't chase it. Why? Because chasing it hurts. Because it's easier to stay wrapped in comfort, surrounded by distractions, telling yourself, it's not the right time. What if I fail? Maybe I'll start next year. And in that safety, in that so-called comfort zone, dreams go to die. Look, you're supposed to feel resistance. You're supposed to go through pain, failure, setbacks, and moments where you question everything. But that's the cost of becoming who you were born to be. And yeah, it's going to leave you with scars. But here's the truth most people never realize. Scar tissue is stronger than regular skin. Going through the fire builds something in you that nothing else can. The sad part, most people know they have something special in them, but they refuse to explore it. They stay bubble wrapped. They stay safe. They go, I think there's something great in me, but I don't want to risk failing. Let me ask you this. If you weren't meant to build something meaningful, if you weren't meant to do something bigger, why would you have that hunger in the first place? You wouldn't. You were put here for a reason, but that purpose doesn't develop itself. You've got to work it, train it, build it, live it. And every single day you've got to ask yourself, how would the version of me I want to become handle this moment? That's it. That's the blueprint. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Maybe you're sitting there thinking, maybe I should just quit. Go back to what's comfortable, take the easy road. But deep down, you know that's not what you're built for. You know you were meant for something more. And yeah, people might laugh, you might fail, you might feel alone, but hear me, risk is required. There is no greatness without it. If you place your dreams in front of the world, you risk being judged. If you go all in, especially when the odds are against you, you risk failing. But if you risk nothing, you get nothing. The person who never takes a chance may avoid some pain. Sure, they might avoid rejection, discomfort, even embarrassment, but they also avoid growth. They avoid love, change, victory, passion. fulfillment. You want to know what freedom really looks like? It's in the hands of the person who's willing to risk, because that person knows it's better to lose chasing something real than to win living a life that doesn't mean anything. If you're ready to change your life, the question isn't, where do I start? It's when. And the answer is right now, right here, in this moment. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Don't overthink every detail. Don't spend another week researching. You already know what you need to do. You just need to start doing it, because your dream, it's not going to chase you. The business idea won't build itself. The book won't write itself. The weights at the gym won't move on their own. You want results? You want change? Then stop fantasizing and start executing. Right here, right now. You already know what needs to be done. The question is, why aren't you doing it? You know better, but you're not doing better. That's a scary place to be, because when you know what's right, but still choose comfort, you're not just hurting your future, you're damaging your integrity. And here's something most people don't want to hear. Motivation isn't the problem. It's not about needing another quote, another video, another hype track. If you have to ask, how do I get motivated to go to the gym? Then guess what? You're not ready. Because the people who go, they're the ones who got tired of looking in the mirror and seeing someone they didn't respect anymore. They show up because they're done negotiating with themselves. And when you hit that point, when you're tired of your own excuses, that's when you start showing up. No outside voice is going to save you. No one's coming to drag you out of bed or push you past the finish line. It's on you. You're either growing or you're rotting. There's no standing still. And let's talk pride and ego for a second, because they're killers, quiet ones. They'll tell you that you're doing enough when you're not. They'll have you blaming everyone else for your lack of progress. They'll have you believing your own excuses. And then you wonder why your career's stuck, why your relationships aren't growing, why you feel restless, bitter, or resentful. But if you're honest, you'll see it clearly. You know better. You're just choosing not to do better. The greats, they don't need someone checking in on them. They don't need a coach in their ear 24/7. They've learned to coach themselves, to lead themselves. That's where the shift happens, when your standards rise above your feelings, when you stop being ruled by moods and start being guided by mission. Let's talk about pain for a second, because most people think pain means they're on the wrong path. But actually, pain is part of the process. You're not going to build something great without suffering, not physically, emotionally, spiritually, or professionally. You're going to get knocked down. You're going to question yourself. You're going to have moments where everything in you says, I can't do this anymore. And that's where most people give up. Not because they weren't talented, but because they couldn't handle the fire long enough to get through it. Dreams die in discomfort, and when they die, a part of you goes with them. I've been there. There were moments in my life where I almost let the pain kill the dream completely. When I was in the water during pararescue training, miserable, broken, I wanted it so bad, but the suffering felt like too much, and I quit. The dream died, and I almost went with it. If I hadn't found another path, if I hadn't faced my demons instead of running from them, I wouldn't be here. I had to look straight at the pain and say, we're not done yet. You can't outrun your demons. They know all your hiding places. The only way out is through. And when you come out the other side, bruised, scarred, tired, but not broken, that's when you become something different, something more. So don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. People talk about manifestation like it's some kind of magic trick. Like if you sit around thinking about your dream life, it'll just show up. But here's the truth. Manifestation is real, but only if you're willing to go all in. When you really know who you are, when you're crystal clear on what you want to do, and when you commit to it like a maniac. No excuses, no exit plan. That's when things start to change. Most of the people who make it, they're not just talented, They're not just lucky, they're obsessed, they're focused. They show up when nobody's watching. They sacrifice, they do the work. They don't sit around blaming the world for why things aren't working out. They don't whine, they don't beg for handouts. They lock in and they grind. That's the truth no one wants to say. The winners, they choose it. They take responsibility for everything. They stop making excuses. They take extreme ownership of their lives. You want your dream? Then it's time to stop hoping for it and start building it. Write the plan, set the goals, take the first step, and then don't stop. Not for anything, because the world doesn't owe you results. The universe doesn't reward wishful thinking, but it will reward relentless execution. And even if people call you arrogant, let them. They don't understand what you've been through. They didn't see the nights you had to hype yourself up just to keep going. They didn't see how many times you had to choose belief when everything around you screamed doubt. That's what it means to be a visionary. To walk toward something nobody else sees until you make it real. You want to change your life? Take ownership. Complete, brutal, honest ownership. No more blaming your parents. No more pointing at your boss, your ex, your past. Stop hiding behind your pride. Your fragile ego isn't helping you. It's holding you hostage. Take ownership of your mistakes, your failures, your attitude. Take ownership of the good and the bad. And most importantly, take ownership of the solutions, because no one else is coming to fix it for you. Take ownership of your mission, your purpose, your entire life, and then stay in the fight. Because this thing you're battling right now, it won't last forever. No challenge ever does. But what will last is who you become because of it. So stand tall in the fire. Face what's coming head on. Dig in, push back, get up again. Even when there's no energy left. Even when your legs feel heavy and your mind is tired and your heart is bruised. Get up anyway, because that's what warriors do. They don't win every round. They don't always look pretty doing it, but they stay in the ring. And when the bell rings, they're still standing. So don't just survive this season, own it. Smile through the bruises, keep your feet planted, and when it's over, sit down with your dignity intact. Not because it was easy, but because you didn't quit. That's the legacy, that's the pride, that's the quiet confidence that no one can take from you, because you earned it the hard way. And if you're still breathing, that means you've still got another round in you. So get after it.